Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 4 college basketball games for Wednesday, March 15th, 2023. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my $15 Bank Shot best bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Wednesday in college hoops. First up, it's the 11th seed playing game between Nevada and Arizona State. This one's going to be 9:10 Eastern on True TV. It's going to be Arizona State laying 2 points. Total is at 133.5. The winner of this game moving on to play TCU in the first round in that West region. Got to be honest, I don't think either of these teams have a chance in that game against TCU. I think TCU one of the better 6 seeds, really, this season and in recent years as well. And Nevada is a team I'm really surprised that made the tournament to begin with. This was a team that struggled down the stretch of the regular season. I don't really like taking teams that are limping into the NCAA tournament. They lost 3 straight games, including 2 regular season games and their first conference tournament game to San Jose State. The regular season games were to Wyoming and UNLV. Not great losses in terms of the Mountain West. And I do think that when you have a Mountain West conference that last year had one of its best seasons in recent years in college basketball, where they had 4 bids in the NCAA tournament. Unfortunately for the conference, though, they went 0-4 those teams in that first round, losing all 4 bids in that first round game, in those first round games. So it's tough to trust the Mountain West this season, and especially against an Arizona State team that I do think is the better team. I think they're the more experienced team. I think they have the better coach, and a coach who's experienced in these playing games. Bobby Hurley at Arizona State has been to the NCAA tournament as a play-in team 3 years now. This is his 3rd year in this play-in spot, so he's experienced in these games, and I do think Arizona State played the better basketball at the end of the regular season. They had 2 conference tournament wins, one over USC, a fellow NCAA tournament team. They had the upset win over Arizona not too long ago. So I think Arizona State's in better form. I think they trust their coach a lot more in this type of matchup. And I just don't really want to back the Mountain West right now, especially with Nevada really struggling down the stretch. So give me Arizona State. I'm going to lay the points here. We're laying a pretty reasonable number with the Sun Devils. Next up, let's go to the NIT as Santa Clara takes on Sam Houston. This one, 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN+. Santa Clara, a 4-point favorite in this game. Total is at 142.5. I think there's a tough spot here for Sam Houston, the winners of the WAC regular season title, losing in the conference tournament to Grand Canyon, who eventually won the conference tournament over Southern Utah in the final. But Sam Houston, a solid defensive team, 21st in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency. They force a lot of turnovers. They're really good on the defensive glass. Their offense is a little bit too reliant on making tough shots, though. That's why I'm concerned in this game. In a tough spot against a solid Santa Clara defense itself, I just don't know if I can trust the Sam Houston offense to do enough in this game. Santa Clara, although they lost their first game in the West Coast Conference Tournament, this was a team that nobody wanted to face at that point because they were on a 7-game win streak in conference play. They had wins over San Francisco, BYU, Loyola Marymount, Portland, some of the better teams, some of the mid-tier teams in that conference. Santa Clara was playing arguably its best basketball of the year. Disappointing to see them lose in the double overtime game in that game against San Francisco in the conference tournament. But still, Santa Clara put together a strong season this year. They're getting better as a program year after year. They're a great 3-point shooting team, a good rebounding team. They take care of the basketball, which is really important in a game like this because, like I mentioned, Sam Houston is able to force plenty of turnovers. So if you're not taking care of the basketball, Sam Houston will take advantage of you and score plenty of fast break points on the other end. But in this spot, I don't think that's going to be the case, especially on the road, in a tough road environment on the West Coast. I think Santa Clara takes this game, and it's a pretty reasonable number to me to lay with the Broncos. So give me Santa Clara, the home team. I'm going to lay the points. Next up, we'll stay in the NIT as Virginia Tech takes on Cincinnati. This one is going to be a 9 o'clock Eastern start time. It'll be on ESPN2 as well. Cincinnati, a 5.5-point favorite in this game. Total is at 151.5. Now, it's surprising to see Cincinnati as a 5-point favorite over an ACC team like Virginia Tech, but it makes sense. Virginia Tech really struggled on the road, particularly with their defense. This Hokies defense was not good, not trustworthy in most of their road games this year, giving up 70-plus points in most of those true road games. And now you're playing a Cincinnati team that plays at a pretty fast pace on both offense and defense, an offense that got a lot better this year than it was last year, an offense that takes care of the ball. They have much better shooting numbers this season. Last year Cincinnati was ranked 301 in the nation in effective field goal percentage, 281st in 3-point field goal percentage. this year, improving all the way up to 114th in effective field goal percentage, 102 in three-point shooting. So I think Cincinnati's going to be able to score basically at will in this game against a struggling Virginia Tech defense that's got to be a little disappointed that it made the NIT rather than the big dance, which it usually expects to do. Virginia Tech's offense, though, great offensive unit, great shooters on this team. They have some injuries to worry about, but still, 71st in three-point shooting, 15th in turnover percentage offensively. They take care of the ball. They get up a lot of shots. Pretty good shot selection as well for the offense, and they're just an efficient offensive unit to begin with. I think, Cincinnati's defense, although their offense made some big improvements, I think their defense actually took a little bit of a hit this year. So I do think Virginia Tech is going to be able to score plenty of points in this game as well. And I can't trust either of these teams against the spread. As much as I'd say, wow, it's a lot of points to give a Virginia Tech team that's played an ACC schedule for most of the year. I just know that this Virginia Tech defense cannot be trusted on the road. So rather than taking a side, I'm just going to take the over. I know it's a pretty steep total. I still think we get over this number. I think the first to 80 wins this game. I'm going to take the over in Virginia Tech and Cincinnati. And the final game we're going to talk about for Wednesday's card in college basketball, it'll be in the NIT as UC Irvine takes on Oregon. This one's going to be 11 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Now, this is a fun matchup because Oregon and UC Irvine already played once this season, so this is the rematch game, and in that first game, it was way at the beginning of the regular season. UC Irvine beat Oregon by 13 points, a double-digit win, an upset win in the true road game for the Anteaters. But now Oregon is a 9-point favorite in this matchup, totals at 146.5. And I like the Ducks to get some revenge in this game and earn a double-digit win and cover in this one as well. I think Oregon is much better than it was at the beginning of the season. We saw the Ducks really struggling at the start of non-conference play where they were 2-4 overall to start the year. But once we got into Pac-12 play, we saw Oregon pull together some nice home victories. Upset win over Arizona. They beat Utah. They beat USC at home as well. So I do think, and especially when you look at Oregon down the stretch this season, they went on a 4-game win streak. They took down Stanford at the end of the regular season, beating Washington State in the first round of the Pac-12 tournament, and then playing competitive basketball against UCLA, one of the best teams in the country, in the first half of that game in the Pac-12 tournament. Struggling in the second half, losing that game by double digits in the end. But still, I think Oregon is a much better team than it was when they lost to UC Irvine the first time around. I also think UC Irvine, one of the more overvalued teams in the Big West this season. I think that's one of the big reasons why they lost outright to Cal State Fullerton in that conference tournament. UC Irvine had to feel like it was the favorite to win that tournament, especially winning the regular season title in the Big West. But I don't think that their offense is going to do too much in this game. I think Oregon's defense has really improved as the season's continued. Oregon, a great rebounding team, a great defensive and offensive rebounding team. They don't take too many fouls defensively. Their offense is underrated in my opinion as well. So give me the Oregon Ducks. I think they get a nice rematch, revenge win here. I'm going to lay the points with the Ducks. And that's it. Those are the games for Wednesday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.